Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be doing another video because of popular request and because the most popular video on this channel is the Reno experience one, which is hilarious because I was completely wasted when I made that. Just goes to show you if you don't even try at all, and you'd probably get a lot of views because the Walking Dead content doesn't get anything. And the movie content that on here gets even less, which is ridiculous, because I tried, especially for Annihilation. I tried really hard. But anyways, I'm going to be doing my experiences living in the East Bay so far. I've moved here been here since, oh man, almost 2 years. It's May of 2016. May 17th to be exact. Yeah, so it's been a while. Definitely been a while. Out here in Livermore. When you're in Livermore, you don't really feel very connected to the rest of the Bay Area at all. Like, we barely even get news segments. The only time we ever got a news segment, was when the school that I go up here at the JC had a shooting. It was a guy with a Nerf gun. He wasn't even trying to, just for a class project. And it's cool because the next day of my anthropology class, we didn't do anything. We just talked about shooting and violence, even though it was a Nerf gun. But anyways, that was the only time that we were on the news. Other than that, we were on the Bankhead Theater because Anne Frank's, I think Anne Frank's granddaughter was at the Bankhead Theater, and so Bankhead Theater is pretty nice. We get some decent people. We had OK Go recently come here. I would have gone, but that theater is expensive as fuck. It's like $49 just for way up their seats, which is kind of ridiculous. But yeah, we got that going on. We got a very different theater, the Vine Cinema, that's kind of this it's kind of like this bar area that also plays like movies that are different, like Shape of the Water and The Post and stuff. Yeah, like our video. But yeah, they're a bit different in that terms. I haven't applied there yet, but I probably should. Anyways, there's another theater around here. Livermore Cinema West or something. That's a pretty good, honestly. It was different. When I first moved here, there was no particularly, it just used to be a regular theater with seats and everything, but then literally a month later, in late May, they had all these recliners, and I was like, what the, I just saw 10 Cloverfield Lane, and then the next time I saw a movie, whenever it was, maybe it was The Avengers or something. Yeah, it was totally different. It had recliners on it. What the, but yeah. So that's kind of our entertainment for Livermore, for movies. But the downtown's really, really nice. All that. We have a lot of hiking parks. We have Brushy Peak. We got. Trying to think of the other one. We got Sycamore Grove that used to be right across from my work that I would have loved to just take a break there. Trying to think of another place. A Holder Park that I did a video on. I think that's the trio of parks, just in Livermore. But I don't want to spend this entire video talking about Livermore because it's the East Bay as a whole, and the East Bay as a whole is a lot the Alameda County. You got the Oracle, the Warriors Center, which has a lot of great music acts that come there too. I haven't been to a Warriors game in forever, at least 3 years, over 3 years now. But I recently saw Lorde there, and she was amazing. It's a pretty good acoustics. You can be, way up there. When I saw Black Sabbath, you can actually hear everything going on up there, which is pretty cool. We got the Fox, in Oakland. That's a really, really nice theater that has music acts. It actually has comedy acts too. Never seen that, but it's a really nice venue because you can actually get real close up to the acts, and you can just kind of conversate with people that are like-minded individuals that like it. Um, oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention downtown is we have a pretty nice, very nice library. Like it's very nice. It would kick your library's ass. It's really big. It's got kind of a small movie section, but then it's got this like just massive like it's got a whole like section just for like anime, just this whole thing, and then it's got an old manga, and then it's got a whole section for graphic novels. That's where I started reading the Walking Dead comic, and it's got all this crazy stuff. It's got like a whole room just for newspaper, a whole room for Time magazine. Like it's a whole separate room for computers. And then they have art that they put up in there. I entered a poem in there. I didn't even get an honorable mention, or well, I kind of one of them I placed third, and the other one I didn't get anything. So, but I guess 2 out of 3 isn't so bad, or 1 out of 2. But yeah, and then we also have a comic book store that it's okay, but it's actually pretty big, but it just reeks. I can't imagine going back there. Just not really into that kind of stuff no more. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Oakland's got some really great places. The Oakland Hills. Oakland Hills got all sorts of interesting stuff to go to. um, but yeah, um, the Oakland Hills are definitely really interesting because there's so many different parks up there. There's a volcano, ancient volcano up there. It's like 10 million years old, or maybe even older. Yeah, it must have been older. Or maybe, yeah, it must have been older. But they kind of show you, like, oh, this is what the land used to look like. And so it's like Sibley Volcano, if you ever want to go there. It's really cool. Another place I forgot to mention in Livermore is the Vasco Caves. That's kind of a place. I haven't gone there yet because you have to make a reservation, but anyways, the Oakland Hills, they got some really cool areas. My uncle that I never met he supposedly spent a lot of time up in that area. The Berkeley Hills are really interesting too, because you actually got a lot of different parks there, and it's pretty interesting looking at a lot of those houses on the cliffside that are just like there. They're like suspended by almost air. There's like barely anything there. Though there's some really cool roads just to take a drive on, which is nice because Reno, like I think I mentioned, doesn't have many roads to go on. Here it doesn't. The North Bay is where they have the most roads. You could just drive. Here yet again, it's kind of we have some roads, but it's not as much. Definitely not as much roads to travel. Um, in Livermore, if you go on a Royal Road and you kind of go on there, you can kind of kick back, but the Livermore people here are just they got like a just stick lodged right up their ass. They're crazy. Like I remember having neighbors, both of the neighbors over here and the neighbors over here, they suck ass. Like they just come back here and think they can do whatever they want. We've had our mail stolen here. Like it's bonkers, man. It's ridiculous. Like they're just shit neighbors. They're always loud and obnoxious and breaking shit. They're awful. We got some white trash neighbors way over there. I've had the cops calling me twice just for walking around at night. I used to work late, so I would just be standing all damn day, right? And I'd reek. So the thing I like to do is take a walk because I wanted exercise, and I had the cops calling me twice. Um, but yeah, the neighborhood sucks. You can't really pick your neighbors, unfortunately. If you could, it'd be great. I've never really had that great of neighbors. Probably Windsor was the only really great neighbors. But yeah, you kind of just gotta live with it. But yeah, the East Bay is just massive, man. You got Dublin. Dublin's really great. Very expensive theater. But you get the Barnes and Nobles. It's just massive. You get a lot of the places down there. They don't have a downtown, but they do have some pretty nice restaurants and stuff. And then you got I'm trying to think. The other Pleasanton. You got Pleasanton. Pleasanton downtown's pretty crazy. It's like very old-fashioned-y. On one side it's got the boardwalk, and then it's kind of newer. And then of course like there's like these haunting things, and I'm kind of in tune to some of that stuff a little bit. Because my mom was too. I mean, I'm not saying that like I'm a medium or any of that because that stuff's a load of crap. But you know, you can feel something. You know, some kind of evil or something, and you can feel that. There's like a hotel where a lot of people died, so you can definitely feel like somebody died there. And so that's kind of interesting, you know, because Pleasanton used to be the wild west out here. Same with Livermore, you know, we had the rodeo out here. It's kind of, you know, a year thing. It's nice to do once. I did it when I first moved up here, and that was it. It's pretty nice. That park's pretty nice. Tons of nice basketball hoops and places to go, which is nice. And you have nice variety. Um, the Livermore, the Las Positas basketball team's pretty cool because they're pretty decent and stuff. But yeah, so yeah, I think that covers all of Livermore. I mean, Oakland is just it's massive. There's some horrible parts, but being able to take part, I mean, you could just take it all the way to San Francisco, and you know, down, and that's really cool because you don't have to just be in one area. You know, you don't have to take your car everywhere. You can just take BART. I mean, it's sketch. It is. I mean, it's sketch for me. I can't even imagine for a woman or something what that would be like. I wouldn't want to take. I hate taking it at night. When I saw the beach fossils on a school day, which sucked because I had school the next day. Um, I ended up going to the Fox, no, to this little club in San Francisco. And I drove back, or I went to BART back, and man, I was so tired. You know, same with Lord. You know, I got out. You know, I got home at like at 1 or midnight, and I had school the next day. It was like awful. But yeah. Oh, and then there's also it's kind of the South Bay, but there's a shoreline. That's really the South Bay, where all those tech companies are. You know, I don't know if I'd ever do a video there because I've never lived in the South Bay. My dad did live there, but yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, it's got all sorts of things. You know, we got our sports teams that are great. You know, um, but you know the Giants, they're in the Bay. Same with the 49ers, they're in the South Bay. And that's the thing, people don't realize, you know, there's the North Bay, South Bay, you know, East Bay, you know, all that is very different. You know, but, you know, here, you know, you got the Raiders, you got the A's, you got all sorts of different all sorts of different events you can go to. There's different galas, there's different movies, there's all sorts of different things you could really do. You could just spend, you know, a few weeks out here if you wanted to travel and just see it all. You could really do that. But yeah, you know, if you know anyone wants to ever come out and you know the East Bay, you know, you got lots of options to do. You know, it's you know this is so far. I've only lived out here for almost not even 2 years yet. But it's different, man. It's kind of whack sometimes. You know, the people out here are very you know they're very nosy and they're very you know into your shit. You know, Reno, no one could care less if you're doing anything. You know, you could like probably shoot somebody and they'd be like, yeah, whatever. You know, and so that's a huge difference. You know, and the same thing with the North Bay. People are nosy, definitely. In California, people are nosy as shit. But I feel like even you know it's not as much. Like you know, if you go to Southern California, nobody cares. You know, especially those shithole towns like Trona or Mojave. Nobody cares what you're doing, if at all. But I mean, yeah, you know, I would say that it's got enough, you know, enough outdoors, enough things that keep you busy. But you know, the weather is a little dry. We don't have a lot of rain, um, which is kind of a bummer to a degree because you know we're the ones that probably use more water because of that. But yeah, you know, but you could just spend a lot of different hours out here, man, and yeah, you know, um, yeah, I guess I covered, you know, most everything that I wanted to cover. Yeah, yeah, don't do the freeways. The freeways suck out here, but yeah, if you could do the back roads. Anyways, I just kind of wanted to do that video, you know, because the other one was, you know, such a popular one. Um, so we make another one. I'll probably make another one for the North Bay. But hold on. Adios.